There's this path on the edge of the woods just behind the elementary school football field. A few of my classmates have told stories about this old woman that lived in the woods, and that the path leads to her house, an old crumbling shack, held together by overgrown shrubs and vines. No one knew her real name, but everyone called her Old Lady Hawkins. One story is that she's got 2 dogs that run around in the woods and give chase to anyone, especially kids. And if they should catch you, they would drag you back to the old lady, and she would cook you up for sure. Another story is about her being a witch, and how she would drop down from the sky and snatch you up on her broomstick to never be heard from again. Nobody really believed the stories. We just laughed at them. One Saturday afternoon in the late fall, me, my brother Wayne, his friend Brett, and our neighbor Marcus were playing on the football field, and we decided to check out the path. On the ground just at the head of the woods laid an old blue and white flannel shirt. Brett, the oldest of us, found the large stick and fished it up so we could have a better look at it. We gathered around it like a bunch of junior scientists, and immediately we pointed out the dark stains on it. Unanimously, we declared the stains to be blood, and with that, Brett started to play like he was going to throw it on us. We all ran back and forth, yelling and laughing at each other, trying to distance ourselves as far away from Brett and the creepy shirt as possible. We were so excited and scared all at the same time. I had that gut feeling I used to get when my brother and I used to go to my grandma's house. Brett finally tossed the shirt into the brush after taunting us for several minutes. "Let's go down the path," he smiled. "Yeah, let's go," my brother said. Marcus started walking up the trail. "All right, come on then." But each of us followed one another, trying to be as quiet as possible, but the leaves kept crunching with our every step. Marcus led the way, followed by my brother Wayne. I was third and Brett was last. The further we got into the woods, the thicker they seemed. The trees were eerie, black silhouettes reaching for the sky, shadowing down on us, watching us creep along. They were so scary I thought that they would come to life and try to grab us like in some of the movies I've seen. The air was getting cooler too. We could see our breath now. Marcus turned around and started to act like he was smoking a cigarette, trying to be funny, when suddenly to our right, a group of blackbirds dashed out from the brush. The 4 of us hit the ground like soldiers out on a patrol and lay frozen, listening for anything out in the woods. It was dead quiet. We sat there for a few moments, not making a sound. Our hearts pounded for the fear of the unknown. Our imaginations were taking over. Marcus finally stood up and scanned the woods, making sure the coast was clear, and then he made the gesture for us to get up. We started walking again, this time even slower than before. It was only 100 yards or so when we came up to this frozen ditch. It was too wide for any of us to jump, so Brett suggested I go first to test the ice, since I was the smallest. There was a little creaking at the edge, but I made it over safely to the other side. And just as soon as I turned around, the boys took off down the path, yelling for their lives and running as fast as they could. I cried out to them and made a quick leap back over the ditch, missing the bank and smashing through the thin ice. Quickly I grabbed a branch in front of me and managed to pull myself out of the cold water and onto the bank. That's when I noticed the 2 dogs snarling at me from the other side of the ditch I was just on. I yelled to the top of my lungs and sprinted after the boys who were already gone. The dogs nipping at my heels, their breath hot on my neck. I was running as fast as I could, but still too slow. I felt like the tree limbs were reaching out, tugging and grabbing at me, trying to hold me back. I rounded a corner and I could see the guys cheering me on, and as soon as I reached them I collapsed to the ground, all of us laughing. What a sigh of relief. The dogs didn't chase me after all. We caught our breath and collected our wits, and started for home so I could change out of my wet clothes. And I guess it was about halfway across the football field when we looked back. There at the entrance to the path was a black man, wearing a blue and white flannel shirt, much like the one we saw on the ground. He was walking with 2 dogs, headed into the woods. We never tried to go back up the path again, and still to this day I'm convinced that all those stories about old Lady Hawkins are true. I know this one is.